This is the first place that I ever saw the neighbor's cat. He was on a ladder in front of this house with his little litter mate. They were about 6 weeks old. One was a gray striped cat. The other was a yellow and white striped cat. They were really cute. I went over and tried to play with them a little bit, and they were both pretty friendly. The little yellow one was a little shy, but the striped cat was a real friendly cat. About a year later, I saw the gray striped cat. He was digging in a trash can out in front of one of the houses in the neighborhood. Later, I saw the little guy again. He was hanging out in front of my neighbor's house. Some of the people there looked like they might be taking care of him, but I'm not sure. But he stayed very close to their door, so maybe they were feeding him. Some of the other neighbors didn't like him so much. They throw rocks at him. One of the neighbors even talked about using mouse poison on him. So I think that if he didn't quit digging in the trash cans and making a mess and killing my neighbor's chickens and pigeons, that he was probably going to get killed. A little later on, my neighbors moved out. I figured they took the cat with them. But a few days later, I saw him outside. He was laying in front of their door. The little guy was a mess. We caught him a couple of times sneaking into our house. He'd come through the transom window over the front gate, sneak in and eat our cat Oreo's food. Then he'd escape the same way he came in. He was pretty clever. After 2 or 3 times of this, I decided I'd go see if I could find him. He was a bit hard to find. The little guy was really good at hiding. He'd hide on the roof. He'd climb right up the side of our house, or the side of our gate, and go on the roof. So there he was most of the time. At nighttime, he was making a big bunch of noise with the little girl cat up there. So he had a girlfriend already. The neighbors started complaining about that too, because he'd keep people awake all night long. I knew that if somebody didn't do something about him pretty soon, he was going to wind up dead. He'd either get poisoned, run over by a motorbike, or eaten. They do eat cats here, you know. He was a pretty big cat. I think he would have made a nice meal for somebody. Later, I ran into him. He was asleep in front of the neighbor's house again. Even though they weren't living there, he was there. I decided to see if he'd come in the house. I wasn't sure if he'd run or if he'd let me pick him up. So I went over, and he just laid there. He rolled over on his back. We gave him some food. He had a big meal, drank a lot of water, and hung around for a little while. Pretty soon, I saw him sleeping on the back of my motorcycle seat. I think it's definitely true. If you feed a cat, it's your cat. Rhea named him Jellybone. It's a good name. When you pick that cat up, it's like his bones turn to jelly. He just hangs there. It's so cute. So the name stuck. We called him Jellybone, and his nickname, Bone Bone. It didn't take long for the little guy to become a big part of our family. So why did I name this video Killing the Neighbor's Cat? It's because he probably wouldn't have had a chance if he'd been left outside. Somebody would have killed him for digging in their trash, or killing their pigeons or chickens, or he might have gotten poisoned. So we decided to take him in and make him our cat. On the serious side of things, having a pet in Vietnam's a little different. A lot of people didn't have pets for a long time because Vietnam was real poor. Pets were seen a lot of times as food. So people didn't keep dogs and cats, they ate them. Now, people are a little wealthier and they've learned to love these little critters. So that's the story about how Jellybone became our cat. A lot of the people in Vietnam are keeping pets now. They have dogs, a lot of dogs, some cats, all kinds of pets. Birds are real popular too. Near our house is a really nice veterinary clinic where we took Jellybone to get neutered. He didn't like that much, but it was a necessity, or he'd be on the roof with the neighbor's cat all the time and probably still be a victim of violence. But anyway, we took him over there and the care was outstanding. They scheduled follow-up visits, and it took about a week total to get him back on his feet and checked out, and he was fine. People here take good care of their pets. My neighbors have several dogs, and they're always out bathing the dogs, walking the dogs. It makes me feel good to see that. The story about Vietnamese always eating their dogs is true, but they don't eat their pets. And it's really becoming unpopular, especially in the cities, for people to eat pets. There is still a problem with snatchers. Sometimes snatchers will steal people's pets and they wind up on the dinner table somewhere. It's a terrible problem, and the penalties are really stiff if you get caught. So maybe in a few years it'll be so unpopular that people won't do that anymore. I hope so. I really don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing it in the newspaper either. Today's the Tet holiday. I'm really glad to be out. I was lucky to find the coffee shop that's open. Nearly everything's closed today. The town's pretty slow. Actually, this year there's more activity though than usual. Last year and several years ago, when the city was having their Tet holiday, the place would really be empty. But I'm kind of surprised. There's more people out than usual, more than I expected. And also, if you'd like to watch Jellybone in action, check out Fuzzy Logic. I'll put a link to it at the end of the video.